Hey, so let me tell you something about webframes. So first thing what I want to show you is how you would use a webframe by default. So, you will probably go to MISC, take like a floor plan or something like that, some kind of default preset with a pop-up stuff. And then you would probably go take out the floor plan, go to webframe, put it inside here, stretch it all the way like this. Make sure that the webframe is above the header so that you can click the X icon and you put in a URL in here and you say preview. So there you have it, your webframe, all nice. You can click on this button and it closes. Now you have two information hotspots. This shows website 1, this shows website 2. So let's create this the old way, as I would do it initially. Webframe 1, copy paste this, webframe 2, like that. Go here, take this webframe and change the URL 360creators.com/talus. So this is going to be like the second one. Now you will go to panoramas, entrance 1, hotspots, take this one, add action, ShowHide components, webframe 1, on click, show this webframe. Done. Now we're just going to double click on this one 2 times, copy, take this one, paste, double click, and select number 2. Preview, and this is 360creators.com. Nice. And the Talus tour. Okay, so a tour in a tour with another web frame. So, that's all nice. But you can imagine if you have to duplicate this maybe 50 times or 100 times or 1,000 times. What you will end up using is, you will do this basically. So, and that just, this is, it's doable, that's not a problem, but it gets, organizing, you have like your whole skin and it's like, this is getting really big and everything. And the worst thing of everything would be if you have to change this little icon from this color to red color or something like that. I mean, you can imagine the kind of work you have to do. You have to go to this one as well and replace this image as well, and so on. Like it's very static design. It's not dynamic. So in an ideal world, it would be just one design, and you can just change the web frame dynamically, right? So I've did it this old way with a virtual shop, and it was really painful, but it was the only way. So okay. But now I've learned I can just remove all this stuff and keep it to one web frame. So in this case, the design is a little bit different. It's not like this as in a pop-up, but it's just a web frame itself. It's just this. I'm going to preview. I'm going to show you that I can even change it the same web frame. So you don't have to duplicate it 100 times. Let me show you. Click. Boom. It changes. And I have my Talus virtual tour. Click here. Boom. It changes.
Park Broekhuizen bestaat uit boutique, hotel en restaurant.
And it just goes back to my old website as I was looking at. Yeah, and this is the most exciting part of the whole video. So, what I've did, this web frame is called WF, lower thing, and then pop-up. This is the name. That's important. By default, it's set to 360creators.com. Now, to manipulate this web frame, what we're going to do is use JavaScript. The way to do this, you need a little special code. I'm gonna put this in the description, just for free. But you gotta like this video. I can basically not do that, right? So, panoramas, hotspots, and so right over here, execute JavaScript. What we're going to do is add, execute JavaScript, and write something here. I'm going to show you now. Okay, Here it comes. 3, 2, 1. And this is it. This is the code you need. So this get component by name, and then here you place the name of the web frame. This has to be identical, so you cannot have duplicated web frames like with the same name. So it has to be one web frame. Something to keep in mind. And then set URL, and then in these you change the URL. Have to keep an eye on these brackets, these things, that they stay there. And basically, right now, what I have to do, if I want to duplicate this, go and set this somewhere here, and say something like online course. I think it's a website. I'm not sure. And I say there, preview. It just works. So, Thales, online course. Haha, it works. I got a URL. All right. So here you can, yeah, you can also fill in your stuff if you are interested in an online course. But anyway, and then the thing you might be wondering about, like leaving the panorama, how do you do this? So that is basically on panoramas, settings, add action, execute JavaScript at end of the panorama, then fill in the same URL. So basically it looks like this. So you set it back to the old one, for example. So this way you can manipulate one web frame. You don't have to duplicate it 100 times. It's a huge time saver if you work a lot with web frames. And the nice thing about web frames is, well, you can do a lot with that. But yeah, that's it. That's it for the video. Like and subscribe if you haven't done already. And see you in the next one.